Okay, what's up, everyone? Swinging Bull here with PB Alerts, and welcome to my earnings stream. I do this every single week, and today we're going to be going over Costco and Broadcom. So, Costco, ticker symbol COST, Broadcom, ticker symbol AVGO. Both of them reporting earnings. There is a third one, BBAI, which is Big Bear AI. They're also reporting. So we'll kind of flip back and forth between these three and see what the earnings reaction is going to be to the stock price. I'm going to go 1 minute chart on these, and we will sit tight and wait for the earnings data to get released. For anyone joining in on Discord, if you having trouble seeing my screen on Discord, I posted a YouTube link for you. You can head on over to YouTube and watch it there. So anyways, let's just go over a couple of things real quick because I think we got a little bit of time to burn. Costco, they're supposed to report at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. So it's in about another 14 minutes. The consensus for the EPS forecast is $4.09, and the forecast revenue, $63.20 billion. So we'll see what their data comes in, and we'll see what the price does in reaction to that data. Annie Jane on YouTube, what's going on? Welcome to the stream. So anyways, we got Costco at 4:15, and AVGO, which is Broadcom, they're also at 4:15. So these two are going to be hitting at the same time. And let's see when Big Bear reports. Give me 1 second. Let me pull up another screen. BBAI. There we go. Big Bear AI. Okay. So also BBAI, they do report at 4:15 as well. So we're getting all three of these all at the same time. Give me 1 sec here. We'll go back to Costco. Let me go to the sticks real quick, just see if we have any anticipatory price action. Nothing yet, but let me go back here. So for Costco, moderate buy based on 25 analysts. They usually do a real good job beating the EPS. Not really concerned about that. I think Costco is going to have good earnings. I really do. That's my opinion. I try not to get biased with these earnings because, of course, they can beat EPS, they can beat revenue. But if they mess with their forward guidance in a negative way, that's really all it takes for the selling to commence. So we'll see. But their reaction to the last four earnings, not really a big mover. They might have had a big move, when the earnings data initially gets released. But the price 1 day after the earnings for the past three earnings, at least, really no movement. So this could be an ideal setup for an iron condor, which is basically a credit spread on each side of the price. Again, a little bit risky to do through the earnings, but based on the past three earnings, not really a big mover. I have a feeling they're going to make a move this go around. So we're just going to have to see. So this is let me go back to TradingView here. So Costco trading at $1,027 per share. Closed the regular session at $1,026.99, down around 2% on the day. Obviously, the overall market kind of sold off today, so a lot of the stocks kind of just look like SPY today. I'll go back here to the SPY chart. Big Bear AI getting a little bit of a move here. It's up 2.6% in after hours. Again, I don't think their earnings is out yet. So we're just going to have to see if this is going to be the real move or not. Jedi Master on Discord, how you doing? Good to see you, my friend. So let me just go back here to this other screen. So again, according to history, not really a big mover 1 day after earnings as far as Costco, which might lead to the fact that maybe they do get a reaction this time. Again, we'll just have to wait and see. For AVGO, their consensus for the EPS is $1.50, and the forecast revenue is $14.62 billion. They are trading below their anchored VWAP. Their anchored VWAPs are like the low 220s, around that area. And we go back here, AVGO. Let's see here. They closed the regular session at 179.48, down 6% on the day. And they're sitting here in after hours kind of flat. So we're just gonna have to wait on that data to get released. It's about 4:05 p.m. Eastern. So we got about 10 more minutes. And again, all three of these should be hitting at once. VO on YouTube, yeah, BBAI. Got that pulled up over here on this screen. They are up to 3% now in after hours. Again, I not quite confident this is the real move because I don't think the data's out yet. So we're just gonna have to wait a few more minutes, and I'm gonna go over a couple other things real quick. Let me just get my other screen ready for the EPS and revenue data for all three of these companies. And as soon as we get that, I'll post that on YouTube for everybody on the bottom of my screen. Welcome everyone. Got a little over 200 people tuning in on Twitter. Again, I do this every week, so getting pretty good following. Been doing this for, I don't know, maybe 6 months now. So anyways, let me go back to Costco and let's just take a look here. I'm going to go down to 1 minute on SPY too. SPY kind of rallying a little bit in after hours, not much, but we go down here. Revenue history on Costco. We already went over that, the EPS and the revenue. There was some big call blocks coming in right before the regular session ended on Costco. And let me just keep scrolling down. Do got some people playing the downside as well. So kind of a mixed bag, but did see a lot of block orders come in on the call side on Costco. Let me go back to BigBear.ai real quick. Again, they're not supposed to release until 4:15 p.m. Eastern, so we got a little bit of time to burn, but they're up 4.26%. So maybe their earnings got released a little early. Let me just refresh my other screen. They're now up 4% in after hours. They closed the regular session at $4.23. They're sitting here right now at $4.42. About to hit 5% up in after hours. So looking good. Again, I don't know if this is an anticipatory move to the earnings. Sometimes we get a move right before the data and then we get another move. But we're going to see. BBAI did have some divergence on the bigger time frames if you're an RSI trader or MACD trader. So just something to keep note. And let me look at something else here. Trade breakdown. BBAI target $1.50. Okay, some people calling out $1.50 price, sorry, or 150. I'm sorry. It's a bit extreme, but we'll see. Not seeing any data yet on BBAI, so I'm not sure what this little rally is going on here. I don't think it has anything to do with the earnings data, unless people are just trying to front run it. I got Melvin on Twitter. Decent ER, we go to $7. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, that's $3 away from where the price is at now. So let me just go on bigger time frame real quick. Daily chart. Yeah. BigBear.ai has been basically in a sell-off mode since the middle of February. So it's been about, what, 3 weeks now. It's just sheer selling. Did get the crossover on the EMAs on the daily chart, but here we are. This is the catalyst that could change the view of this stock. So let me zoom back in on smaller time frame and see what we got. So again, BigBear.ai, it's got a positive reaction, but again, I don't think the earnings is out yet. So this is kind of going to be interesting to watch here if it decides to just do a total 180 and go down for earnings. I hope it doesn't. I know there are some big bear bulls here who are interested in seeing what this reaction is going to be. So we're just going to have to give it a few more minutes. It's almost 4:10 p.m. Eastern. VO on YouTube. Say you sold some 450 puts on it. All right, very good. So that sounds like it's cash secured puts. You probably got a decent premium on those too. Let me just see what it looks like here. I'm going to go to the option chain. I'm just curious what those contracts were selling for before the close. Not sure what your expiration date was, but the March 21st expiration, those $4.50 puts, if you're on the cash secured put side, I mean, the last sale was $80, so $80 a pop for those, if that's the expiration you did. If you AVGO and Costco, and this is for Gengar on YouTube, they report at 4:15 p.m. Eastern. So we got about 5 more minutes here. Matter of fact, let me switch back to them real quick. Nothing really going on yet. So we're still awaiting the info for Costco and Broadcom. Okay, they're both kind of just sitting flat in anticipation to the earnings data. Got about 4 more minutes. And that's all 3 of these. AVGO, Costco, and BBAI are all supposed to report at the same time, 4:15 p.m. Eastern. So 4 more minutes. And then we should get some action. So get your popcorn ready. And we'll see what their EPS revenue comes in at. And of course, if there's any forward guidance, I'll be more than happy to share that with everyone as well. Dear on YouTube, you think BBAI is going to have a really strong earnings? Okay. Yeah, there were some people in our Discord that are bullish on them as well. Again, a little bit of a mixed bag on them, but let's make sure I didn't miss any other questions here. Kilo, you have feeling shorts covered tonight in BBA. Some of the defense money is going to be included in Q4 ER. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see. What I'm more curious about is this little rally that it had before the data is even out. So I want to know what's up with that. Could be shorts covering and before their earnings. We just don't know. So we're going to find out here in a minute. Just curious too what Bitcoin ended up today. Okay, yeah, Bitcoin sitting right above 89,000. So just a few more minutes here and we should be getting some data. Let me just refresh my BBAI screen and make sure nothing was released. Let me go back there just for a sec. Okay. Yep, still waiting on data, so I don't have it yet. Should be any minute though. Got some people buying shares of BBAI in after hours. Okay. All right, let me switch over to time is at 4:12 p.m. Okay. Okay, Vio, you sold the 3.7 a couple days ago. It's only got 25 a contract, but hey, on a 450 strike, that's a solid return in my opinion. If you're just looking at return on capital, that's solid, Vio. So I like the premium you collected on it. And yeah, if it is below 450 by tomorrow, just immediately start selling covered calls. I usually keep a spreadsheet on the side when I'm running the wheel and take the premium we're collecting on the cash secured put that on the spreadsheet. And then once you get to the covered call side, make sure you're putting the premium on that spreadsheet. It's just a good way to keep track of your technical cost basis so you have a really good idea of what covered call strikes you can target, Let me go back to BBAI. Okay. We got some people on YouTube saying BBAI dump it back to $1. Oh boy, that would be a pretty extreme sell-off, but we'll see. Again, it had a pre-earnings positive reaction, and now it's kind of retraced like 50% of that. So we'll see. It's 4:14 p.m. Eastern. We got about 45 more seconds, and we should see the reaction on Costco and Broadcom, which is AVGO. And then, of course, BBAI. So all 3 is supposed to hit at the same time, about 30 more seconds. So it's going to be a little bit more patient, and we should be getting the data on that any minute now. Okay, BigBear.ai trading at $4.28 right now. Still up 1.9% in after hours, even though it's kind of retracing that initial reaction. I wouldn't even call it a reaction. Okay, here's a move. Now keep in mind, sometimes the first move's not the real move, and I'm not even talking about this little green move here. So let's just let the dust settle for a little bit. It's officially 4:15 p.m. Eastern. We all know AI companies have kind of been, well, semiconductors in particular have kind of been taking a hit lately. So I would think Big Bear is going to need to, provide some fantastic data to get a positive reaction. Anything can happen. We'll see. S&P kind of just wicked up quite a bit here on TradingView. I wonder what that was all about. Okay, let's go back to the two big ones, Costco and Broadcom. Look at Broadcom, y'all. Broadcom's catching the bid. They closed the regular session at 179.45. They're up 6% in after hours. They just wicked up to 192, basically 193. They're still sitting up here. This is a 1 minute chart, so, but that's really the only time frame we can go off of right now. Costco, not getting a bid. They are down 2%. It's, you know, let's just give it a second. Sometimes these first moves aren't really the real move. Let me see if I got some data on some of these starting to come out here. Okay, let's go over Costco first. And this is from the Financial Juice on Twitter. I appreciate y'all. I'm going to go ahead and post this. And we'll go over this Costco data first, and then we're going to go over Broadcom, and then I'll flip back to BigBear.ai. Let me just go back there real quick. Okay, BigBear.ai, kind of holding up. They're trading at $4.30. Technically still green in after hours. All right, so let's just give that a moment. There's just not a lot of action going on. It's kind of slow moving here. We'll go back to Costco. This is what I'm talking about with Costco. That initial reaction was negative, trying to claw back now. Let me post this data on Costco on YouTube. I'm going to put this on the bottom of my screen. I know a lot of people are probably here for Costco. So let's just go over this just real quick. EPS came in at $4.02 versus an estimate of $4.11. So they did not beat EPS. Revenue came in at $63.7 billion versus an estimate of $63 billion. So about $700 million more revenue than they thought. So they did beat revenue. So revenue beat, EPS miss. Let me refresh my screen again. Costco is making a comeback here, y'all. So for you Costco bulls, might have got a little freaked out with this first red candle initial reaction. This thing bounced back, basically did a reverse Uno 180 deal here, and it's back up here to kind of where it closed. So let's see if it can hold up. Let's see if the buyers got more gas in it to maybe push this up even more. We'll keep my eye on that. So we got, so yes, they did miss the EPS expectations, but they did beat revenue. So I think revenue, a lot of people have been looking at revenue a lot more lately. I think probably holds a little bit more weight than EPS in the current market. So we're just going to have to see. And here, let me just post this little graphic on Costco for the video here. So you can clearly see here, forecast was $4.10. Some sites were saying $4.11, but close enough. Came in at 402, so they did miss that. Okay, so miss EPS. Revenue, they beat by around 700 million, which is a pretty solid beat, I think. So miss EPS, beat revenue. If I get some guidance, I will definitely share that with everybody. I'm still waiting for some more info to come in. I'm going to jump to Broadcom real quick. This is the one that had the initial positive reaction, and it still is holding up here. So AVGO, let's see what their info came in at. About 500 people tuning in now. Welcome, everyone. Swinging Bull with PB alerts. All right, let me scroll down a little bit. All right. Thank you, Shy Balor on Twitter, my dear friend. Me and him were hanging out in Delray Beach last summer. It was very nice to just spend some time with him. Shay Balor, courtesy of Shay Balor, I'll go ahead and post this info on AVGO. We got the Costco EPS and revenue. I'll hit y'all with some forward guidance on Costco in just a second, but let me go to Broadcom just real quick. Hopefully this comes in good here. Let me just post this. There we go. Okay, here's the Broadcom data. All right, so this is what we got. The sales came in 14.9 billion. This is AVGO versus a forecast of 14.6 billion. So they did beat sales. EPS came in $1.60. Forecast was only $1.51. So AVGO double beat. They beat EPS. They beat sales. CapEx 100 million versus estimate of 144 million. Q2 guidance. Okay, they did raise guidance. It looks like the sales, the new guidance they just put out was 14.9 billion. The previous number was 14.7 billion, or as far as what the estimate was on that going into this earnings. So they raised guidance. That's good. So beat EPS, they beat sales, and they increased guidance. And we all know with those three ingredients, that is a recipe for a positive reaction. And that's what we're seeing on AVGO right now. So I'm pretty sure it's safe to say congrats to the AVGO Broadcom bulls. All right. It doesn't look like this is probably going to be coming back down. Usually, if it gets a reversal, it usually happens pretty quickly. It is working on the, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th candle print. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if it pulls back a little bit and takes a breather. So don't let that, catch you off guard if that happens. That's just normal, healthy price action. So it looks like Broadcom is catching a bid. They're up $15 a share in after hours after closing the regular session at 179 and some change. They're sitting here at 195 and some change. So again, and it looks like the buyers are still present. Let me just go to, I was looking at the option chain on BBAI. Yeah, matter of fact, let me just check on BBAI just real quick. Okay, BBAI, again, kind of sloppy price action, a little bit spotty, even on the 1 minute chart. It's got some gaps here. It just kind of looks like a little sloppy, but they're up, okay? They're up 4% in after hours. So it looks like the Big Bear bulls, Big Bear AI bulls, it looks like you're kind of getting what you wanted a little bit as far as it getting a positive reaction. And now we do got more buyers stepping into the picture. So Big Bear AI technically just wicked up to in the 440s. They did make an after hours high and immediately coming back down. So that was kind of a weird looking volatility candle flicker action. And now the selling is coming in now. So again, Big Bear AI, the price action was real sloppy, kind of spotty, a little bit of gappy. And now it looks like we're getting the real reaction, which unfortunately does look like it's going to be a negative one. But okay, so we talked about Costco. We talked about Broadcom. I think out of all three of these, Broadcom is the winner, obviously, as far as the bulls are concerned. If you were bearish on BBAI, we had some people on YouTube calling for dumping back to $1. I don't think it's going to go to $1, but for you bears, BBAI bears on YouTube, it's looking like it's going in your favor. So, I know, we like to be bullish and we like to think markets go up over time and stuff like that, but you got to be able to make money on the downside when especially what's been going on with all this Trump tariff stuff. And it's just been a lot of selling going on lately and a lot of back and forth with geopolitical stuff, and which is making it kind of a messy, sloppy market, but yeah, Big Bear AI looks like it's going to be a bearish reaction on that. So congrats to the Big Bear AI bears. All right, let me refresh my screen over here and see if we got EPS. I'm sure it's in by now. Let me just go down here. Okay, yep. So double miss, Big Bear AI double miss. Here's the graphic. So their forecast was negative 0.05. Actual numbers came in at negative 0.43. That's a terrible miss on EPS there, y'all. I mean, that's pretty bad. Okay. Revenue, forecast revenue was 54.62 million. The forecast, the forecast revenue was 54.6 million, and the actual revenue came in at 43.82 million. So double miss on Big Bear AI. So that's why I was saying, it's looking like a congratulations to the Big Bear bears, if you will. All right, so y'all should wake up tomorrow with some decent money. If you're just trading shares on it, you could probably take profit in after hours if you can trade extended hours with your broker. For the person that sold the 450 cash secured put on Big Bear, it's not all doom and gloom. We were speaking at the beginning of this stream. It looks like you're trying to do that. You're going to be doing the wheel strategy on it. And I believe you collected $25 a contract on the 450 strike, which means your technical cost basis is only going to be 425. So it could be worse, I guess, is a good way of putting it. You know, tomorrow, well, your cash secured put expires tomorrow. So who knows? Maybe it decides to turn around. Maybe there's some dip buyers on Big Bear tomorrow morning. You're just going to have to wait and see. If you do get assigned shares at the 450 strike, since you collected $25 a contract, 0.25 a contract, technical cost basis 425, I would immediately start selling covered calls if you do get assigned on those 450s. Keep your eye on it, though, because once Big Bear bottoms out, it could start clawing back. And so that's what I was meaning by those 450 cash secured puts that you sold. I know it looks kind of ugly right now, but you just don't know what's going to happen in the next few hours. And we also have pre-market data. And also you have a plan, right? You have a plan to wheel it. Wheel your way out of it. It might take some time, but you got a plan. And at least you know how to do that, you know? And some people don't even know they can do that they can reduce their current cost basis by selling contracts or options against their position. So, you know, just you're going to have to stay disciplined and stick to the wheel, and you might have to hold it. You know, I don't know, but, you know, when we wheel stocks, you know, you should be okay with the company in the long term anyway. And yeah, I mean, you know, Big Bear, you know, anything under $5 a share is going to be considered a penny stock. But anyway, stick to your plan, wheel your way out of it. You might be stuck with it for a few months or a few weeks, depending on the expirations you pick. But just keep chipping away at your cost basis. Eventually, you'll get it below what the current stock price is trading at, and you'll be just fine. So just go back to Costco and AVGO, which is Broadcom. Broadcom, definitely the winner out of the three. Here, let me just show this graphic about Big Bear. This was the double miss that they had, okay? Let me move that back over. And I still have Broadcom AVGO data on my screen. We already went over that. And yeah, Broadcom's the winner. Congratulations to the Broadcom bulls. You should be waking up with a pretty nice present tomorrow morning. And yeah, exactly. We got some people chatting on YouTube. You know, if you're BBAI, if you're bullish long term and you believe in it, then yeah, I think it's worth a shot of wheeling it. Absolutely. You know, if you believe in the company. Let's flip over to Costco real quick. I'm going to post the Costco data again, just in case I missed it, or just in case anyone else missed it and they tuned in a little late. So here's, again, the data that came in on Costco. EPS came in at 402. The forecast was 410, 411. So they did slightly miss on that. To be honest, that's kind of like it came in line, basically. Revenue is 63.7 billion versus the estimate of only 63 billion. So they did beat the sales revenue. And that's on Costco. Costco did have an initial negative reaction. It ended up retracing like 100% of that. And now it's pulled back again. Buyers are still present. We'll see if they have enough gusto to push this back up to get back to baseline. Costco is down $12.62 in after hours, down 1.23% in after hours. After closing the regular session at 1,026 and some change. We go back to BBAI real quick. You know, this might be a good time to slap a Fibonacci on Big Bear. What we could do here is, yeah, I'll just go to 1 minute chart. This top right of my screen here is the BBAI chart. Could probably, you know, just get a bird's eye view of some levels here. I like to see where the retracements are. So 25 retrace is around 370. So it hit a low of 348. Okay, let me fix this. Right there. Okay, it does look like they're trying to reclaim some of these levels. So right now we're just trying to see if this is going to be a dead cat bounce or not. You know, a lot of times we see the selling, it'll retrace 25, kind of form an H, the infamous bearish H pattern that we trade a lot. that's kind of what dead cat bounce would be. We'll see. It did retrace back up to around 385, which was 38% retrace, and now it's pulled back to the 25% retrace area here. So I kind of want this to hold the 370s, high 360s. We're basically looking for a higher low here, and let's see if it starts printing a higher low or not. I'll come back to that here in a second. So BBAI, it's trying to form a bottom. We'll see if it ends up being a bearish H pattern. That's it, kind of looking like it might. If this turns into one of those lowercase h patterns, this thing's probably coming down a little more. Really would like this to form a higher low here and start stabilizing. Order book, yeah, it's still imbalanced to the ask. The sell side imbalance here, it's kind of killing them. I'd like to see this flip, imbalance to the bid side. It's not looking like it's doing it. Yeah. Well, let's see if it, maybe double bottoms and goes up from there. But if this doesn't double bottom, this is going to be continuation bearish H pattern there for you technical analysis people out there. So just keep your eye on it. Still have, we got 3.5 more hours of extended hours price action. Someone asked on you, can you put the AVGO numbers on Penny Bush? Yeah, I can post those on. Let me post those in the Discord for everybody. This is from another one of our team members, Shai Balor, posted this all this for us. So let me post this on the Discord in the free live stream. There you go. So there's the guidance, the EPS, and the revenue. And I'll post it on YouTube as well. Let me post that here. I'll put it up there again because I know a lot of people were here for AVGO. Let me go back to the sticks here on Costco. Okay, looks like Costco's trying to form that higher low. This is kind of what I was talking about with Big Bear, like what I want to see. Has a negative reaction. It comes up to retrace, pulls back again. This is where we want to see the higher low right here. So if this ends up being the higher low, that's going to increase my confidence that, yes, this is trying to retrace back up. Let me just see where this is going to be at here. Yeah, look at that. So initial reaction, it basically retraced just about 100%. Not quite, but almost. It comes back down to this 25% retrace and bounces. So let's see if this ends up being the higher low. And that's going to be right around $1,010 a share. So I'd like to see Costco hold $1,010 moving forward for the remainder of after hours, in essence, forming a higher low here. And they can start clawing back and retracing some of the selling that was going on. And also, when the CEOs do their web call, which should be soon, there could be a secondary move, okay? Because a lot of times in the web calls, they like talking about forward guidance and stuff like that. Adrenaline on YouTube, HPE, huge drop. Okay, they must have had earnings as well. Let's see, HPE. Yep, they definitely sold off some. Hewlett Packard down 16%. In after hours, they closed the regular session just below $18, and they're sitting at $15 right now. So for you HPE bulls, again, it's not all doom and gloom. I mean, we're talking about Hewlett Packard. They've been around forever. And let's just see what some of their financials were going into this. Let me see. Yeah, I mean, actually, their net income going into this earnings was improving. Year over year numbers were pretty solid on the last reports. Debt to asset 65%, not bad. And they got 14.85 in cash and equivalents, so that's good. Hewlett Packard be fine, but they are getting a negative reaction, unfortunately. But a stock like Hewlett Packard, they got a pretty good option chain. They do have weekly contracts. If you're holding shares moving forward, if you're a long-term holder of Hewlett Packard, maybe consider, for instance, if you have 500 shares, maybe you could have sold, like 3 covered calls, right? Which would tie up 300 shares. But that way you could have a little bit of downside protection, hedge the downside a little bit with the covered call income. So if you had 500 shares, you could tie up 300, sell 3 covered calls, reduce your cost basis a little bit that way, and you still have 200 shares kind of available for any appreciation in the shares that might happen. You know, if they decide to bottom out from 15 and go back up from the time that your 3 covered calls expired, you could still have free 200 shares freed up to participate in any upside if it bottoms out at 15 and goes up from there. But I would say if you're holding shares of a company and you're approaching earnings, it doesn't hurt to deploy a couple covered calls to make some money if there is a negative reaction. Okay, so that's kind of my opinion there on Hewlett Packard. Absolutely. Oh, absolutely. Yep. You got that info on AVGO, so I hope you got that. Let me go back to the sticks here. I want to look at AVGO again. Yep, they are still holding steady up here. This is definitely the real move. Okay, I don't think there's going to be any more shenanigans. It's definitely a positive reaction. They caught a bid. There are people scooping this up right now, and it's looking real good for the AVGO bulls. Looks like TK on Discord celebrating that. Congrats. If you were long on this, you should be waking up to a nice surprise in the morning. All right. Let's see here. Okay, back to Costco just for a second. Again, it had an initial negative reaction, retraced almost 100%, came back down, bounced off the 25% retrace to the upside, and it looks like this could be a solid higher low. Again, a 1 minute chart, take it with a grain of salt, but that's the only candle data we have to go off of since this catalyst was released just about 20 minutes ago. So if you're long on Costco, I know that first move was a little worrisome, but there's definitely people trying to buy this dip right now. All right. So, you know, don't lose any sleep. It's just Costco's not going anywhere. You're going to be just fine on Costco. If anything, this could be an opportunity to maybe DCA a little more and buy it on a little bit of a discount. In the long run, you're going to be just fine with Costco. I wouldn't worry about it personally. That's my thoughts on it. Let me show everyone how to get to the web call of Costco and Broadcom and BBAI. So what we're going to do, give me 1 second, pull this up. All right, you're just, for Costco, we'll go over that one first. You're just going to Google Costco Investor Relations, okay? And then you just click on the first link right there. This is their Investor Relations page. And then you're going to scroll down where it says upcoming events. You see right here, right on Costco homepage on the investor side, right here, March 6th, Q2 2025 earnings call. And you see the link right here, webcast. All right, so I'm actually going to post this link for everyone on YouTube so everyone knows how to get to the web call for Costco. And then we'll do the same thing for Broadcom. Now, let me, they might ask you to fill out a little form. Maybe not, let's see. Yeah, they're going to ask you to just fill out a form. Probably going to be like your name and email address. It's okay. You're not going to get spammed. This is just data their Costco is actually collecting to see how many people joined the web call or whatever. So anyways, this starts at 5 p.m. Eastern. So 20 more minutes, and the link's on the bottom of my YouTube screen. That's how you're going to get to the web call with the upper management of Costco. And again, they really like to talk about forward guidance on the web call. So there could be a secondary move on Costco when that goes down. And I think, you know, the price is a little flat right now, kind of nothing exciting going on. Investors are waiting for that web call. Okay. So let's go to the next one. What we're going to do on this next one is this is going to be for Broadcom. Okay, so I usually just type the ticker symbol AVGO, and then boom, right there, Investor Relations. Okay, and you click on that first link right there, and here's the Investor Center for AVGO. And let me just click out of that cookies thing. So you can see the actual data that was released for the earnings right here under releases. And then right here in the middle of the screen, this is the Broadcom earnings conference call with the upper management, the CEO, probably the CFO, COO, you know, all those guys and gals. March 6th, which is today, at 5 p.m. Eastern. All right. So let me post this link on the bottom of my screen. Hopefully everyone was able to take a screenshot of that Costco link. That'll again take you to the web call with the CEO. And now let me put the AVGO link, and this will take you to their web call with the upper management. So again, that's at 5 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's check out BBAI, and let's see when their web call is. Probably going to be at 5, like everyone else, right? We'll see. Sometimes it's later, sometimes it's earlier. Let me accept these cookies here. That's fine. All right, so here it is here. This is where you're going to get the, let's go down. So this is the latest news. This is where you're going to get the actual data for BigBear.ai. All right. And then we're going to scroll down a little more. And I'm just looking for their web call. It doesn't look like they're posting it yet. Let me see. Okay, so let me view all events here and see if they posted. There are no upcoming events. So I'll have to research this a little more about when they're actually doing their web call. Let me just look at something real quick. Yeah, they're located in the US. So anyways, if you just go to Big Bear Investor Relations, maybe sign up to receive the notices about upcoming events, and then they'll send you an email to get to that web call whenever they end up doing it. But we got the info for AVGO's web call. That's posted on the bottom of my screen right now. And then, of course, I posted the Costco web call information just a little bit ago. So anyways, let me just go over a couple other things. We'll take one last little peek here. So Costco, yeah, still sitting flat, waiting on the web call. Broadcom, holding up here. I'm liking the fact it's staying up here. So this is definitely going to be a good, it's going to be good for the Broadcom bulls tomorrow morning. Pretty confident in that. BBAI, look at that, BigBear.ai. They actually, I thought they were going to do a bearish H pattern, which they started to, and they actually turned into somewhat of a double bottom. So I know there were some people on YouTube that were bullish on Big Bear. Look, it's starting to claw back. We obviously want it to, it's sitting right where it got rejected on the last retrace. So definitely would like to see this above. I'll give it a little bit of cushion. I'd like to see this back above 390. And then my confidence on this actually retracing and there being, you know, dip buyers on this thing, my confidence is going to go up on this. So it really needs to get back above 390. It's trading just below it just now. Okay. So yeah, look, you know, the party's not over yet, right? The party is not over, and it's looking like it's going to make a run to break this 390, which, I mean, if you're a technical analysis person, you can clearly see on this chart, you know, it had trouble getting back to 390 back here. It almost made a bearish H pattern, turned into a double bottom, and now it's trending back up. I mean, it's this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green candle prints in a row. Again, I know it's a 1 minute chart. Don't put too much weight on it. But hey, 11, 12 green prints in a row, that should raise your confidence some, okay? And here it is here, just broke above 390. So you'll be just fine on that. Don't worry about it. So yeah, that's what we got there. Just real quick, I wanted to show everyone a bearish, I basically did a bearish trade. It was a hedge on my long positions I have. I'm currently doing the wheel strategy on 5 different stocks right now. And last week, I opened up a bearish trade on SPY. That was basically my downside hedge on my long positions. And the type of trade that I used to deploy that bearish hedge is our SPY put debit spreads. Call sign on YouTube. How can we check the earnings release? I can post it for you if you just tell me what ticker you're talking about, because I was going over 3 different stocks here. Maybe you were talking about Broadcom AVGO. or BBAI, since I think BBAI was the last one I was talking about. But yeah, I can post the link for BBAI. Okay, BBAI. Yeah, let me go back here. So here's BBAI, and let's go to overview, and this is going to be it right here. So fiscal year 2024. So this is ended on December 31st, 2024. Okay, and you see right here earnings release. So you probably just click on that, and then right here March 6th. And they posted it on their website at 4:22 p.m. Eastern. This is where you're going to find all of the earnings data for BigBear.ai. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get a shorter link here that you can. Yeah, I'm going to post this BigBear.ai link and maybe just screenshot it. And when you go to that link here, let me put it on the bottom of my screen so you can just get a clean screenshot. Shouldn't be too, sometimes I hate typing in like really long URLs, right? So this is nice and short. Should be easy to type in. When you get there, just if you're looking at my screen, just click on this earnings release button here, right in the middle, and then boom, you got all the data that you're looking for right there. So I hope that helps you there. Looks like I'm running out of time a little bit. I just wanted to go over this bearish trade because people need to know how to hedge their long positions. A lot of people think, oh, I'll just buy a longer dated put, right? Yeah, that's going to be my hedge. Well, I mean, yeah, you could do that, but at the same time, you're going to be battling theta decay and all this other stuff. I prefer spreads, okay, when I do my hedges. And let me just kind of show you what the trade looked like here. I alerted this to all my Discord people last week. You can see here on February 25th, and here's the trade here. So I bought to open. This was all one trade ticket, by the way, 2 legs on the trade. I bought to open the 589 put for March 21st. Then I sold to open the 588 put, same expiration date. That formed a put debit spread, and I just used SPY to do it because I wanted my downside hedge to be on basically the overall market, right? So it was a hedge because I'm currently long on 5 different wheel trades. So if the market sold off, I wanted an opportunity to make money on the downside, and this is how I did it. Each one of these spreads only costed me $27. Pretty affordable downside hedge, isn't it? Now, for each one of these spreads, the max profit would be $73 plus your 27 back. It's a $1 wide spread, so each spread technically has a value of $100 through intrinsic value alone, correct? So if I pay $27 to open this spread, that means my max gain is $73. That's 100 minus 27, because the value of the spread is worth 100 minus the 27 I paid for it. Boom. That gives me a max profit of $73 per spread. I opened up a handful of these. All right. I had several hundreds of dollars in downside protection. I took profit. Now, again, keep in mind, not only is your max profit 73, you of course get your 27 back as well. A lot of people get confused there. They think, I paid $27 for it, and they think, oh, well, I'm only going to get 73 back because that's what it says max profit. That's the max profit on your 27 risk. So you get your 73 back plus your 27, which equals the $100, which is the value of the $1 wide spread. But anyways, look at the potential return on risk on this. If you can have a max profit of 73 and you only paid $27 for it, that's a 270% potential return on your risk. All right. So I opened this up last week just to protect myself if the market wanted to keep selling off. And I'm very happy I did that. Okay. Because fast forward to this morning, and then I had a couple other some good trades here on some other stocks. Yeah, right here. This is what I took this morning. Almost $300. If I didn't have that hedge in place, I wouldn't have made that money. And I still be hoping that my 5 long positions recover, we got to stop all the hope crap. All right. Instead of hoping, how about just, if you're still confident in your long positions, just leave them in place and spend a little bit of money. I call it buying insurance. Okay. And the thing about this, about hedging, I was okay with this going to zero, because look at it this way. If I didn't need to use my hedge, so I deploy my hedge, it's in place, the trade's open. I was okay with it going to zero, because look at it this way. If it went to zero, then that means the market stopped selling off and probably reversed. And then all the drawdown I was seeing on my long positions eventually starts disappearing. And then that's fine, because the amount of money that you're spending on your hedge should only be a fraction of the amount of money that you stand to make on your longs. So just to kind of pull numbers out of the air to make it easier to understand, let's say I plan on making $500 on this long position, but maybe I was a little concerned that there could be some short-term downside risk there. So if I stand to make $500 on my long, why not take $100 of that potential 500 profit and use that to buy some insurance to protect yourself if there is a down move? That's, I think, is a good way to hedge. Now, if you're expected to make $500 on your long position, you don't want to spend $500 on your hedge, because that kind of could be a wash in a way, right? The way I hedge is, if I'm looking at, again, $500 in potential profit, I'll sacrifice maybe $100 of that and open up an opposite trade for a bearish trade. And the good thing about using a SPY put debit spread, the one that I did, is the risk reward is great. I mean, the risk reward on this hedge that I just closed out today was 270% potential return on risk. So that means it's okay to just spend a little bit of money on the hedge, because my return could be 2-3x what I spent for that. Also, my point is, if this trade would have went to zero, I was okay with it going to zero, because that means the market stopped selling off, it reversed, went in my favor, and all the drawdown that you saw on your long positions should be evaporating. And so that's fine. It's basically just spending a little bit of money so I can sleep at night and have a little bit of downside protection, where when the markets are selling off and everyone else is crying the blues, I'm over here making money on the downside. All right. So I just wanted to go over that with everyone today for obvious reasons. Just pull up the daily chart on SPY. And this is, and everyone that knows me in the Discord, I always talk about hedging. I think it's important to do. It keeps us safe. You don't have to really worry about getting your butt handed to you when they're selling. We can actually make some money when they're selling, which will help reduce any drawdown we may see on the longs. All right, so I just want to make sure I went over that with everyone on the types of trades that I use when I hedge. A lot of times it's going to be a debit spread, because the risk reward on debit spread, for you spread traders out there, the debit spreads have a way better risk reward. And I'm talking about out of the money spreads. Okay, so an out of the money debit spread is going to have a way better risk reward than an out of the money credit spread. So some people were asking me before, why don't I use credit spreads when I hedge? It's because the risk reward's not there on those credit spreads. The best way to hedge with risk reward is going to be the debit spread route. All right. And again, just use an ETF that follows an index, either SPY or the triple Qs. And that way your downside hedge will be against the overall market, not just one stock, right? So I just want to make sure I went over that with everybody. Hope everyone has enjoyed the stream. Looks like it's been about an hour. Those web calls with the CEOs, they're starting here in about 5 minutes. All right, let me post that link for AVGO. Oops, there we go. There's the link of AVGO to get to the web call. Starts in 5 minutes. take a screenshot of it. I just posted it on the bottom of my YouTube screen. And then, so hopefully everyone got a screenshot of that. Now let me repost the screenshot or the link, excuse me, for the Costco web call. Right there on the bottom of my screen on YouTube. Take a screenshot, type it in. That'll in your address bar. It'll take you right to the web call. Both of them start in 5 minutes. Okay. So anyways, yeah, my name's The Swinging Bull with PB Alerts. If you enjoyed the stream and you're looking for a new home, give us a shot. There's some links in the description. You can join our group for free. Just see how you like it, and then kind of go from there. And you know, if you just want to jump right into the trenches with us, I trade mainly advanced options, multi-leg options, lots of spreads, you know, credit spreads, debit spreads. We do iron condors. I do inverse iron condors, which is a debit spread on each side of the price. Traditional iron condors, credit spread on each side of the price. I've been doing some diagonal calendar spreads. Those are fun to do. I've also been teaching people how to do collar trades. Those are fun to do. So anyways, a lot of my trades involve multiple legs on one transaction ticket. I do a lot of buy plus write strategies, especially when the stock pays a dividend. I'll just, you know, skip the cash secured put side. I'll just immediately want to own the shares so I can start collecting the dividend. And then, of course, my bread and butter over many, many years has been the wheel strategy. Okay, I've been trading it for so long. I pretty much know all the ins and outs about the strategy, what to look for, you know, what are some red flags, what are we supposed to be looking for, and I just love it. It's just been the most consistent over the years, and I love it. So anyways, if you're looking for, I call it, I basically target weekly and monthly income using options by writing contracts. That's what I do. All right. So if you're interested in learning more about that, you know, join our Discord, tag me in the chat. I'll come by and say hello to you, and we'll get rocking and rolling. But yeah, let me go ahead and sign off. I hope everyone enjoyed. I'll do another earnings stream next week. And if you do end up joining our group, I look forward to meeting you. And I hope everyone enjoys the rest of their night. Cheers, y'all.